I hate when my wife asks, "Are you listening to me?" It's such a random way to start a conversation.
It really is.
It's no good. Oh man, boo.
It
Boo.
took me a
All
while
right.
to think about that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome back, Weekenders, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Weekend from A to Z. This episode covers the weekend up to January the 18th, 2021. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theweekenda2z@gmail.com. You can find us on Facegram and Instant Book at A to Z Weekend. Past that, you can go to anchor.fm/A to Z Weekend, where you will find all 11 locations for our podcast.
What up, guys? I'm Justin.
I'm Sir Alan.
JT.
Scott.
What's been
Right.
going on, fellers?
I don't know. I feel like I got a ton of stuff to cover, and some of it's like old now. So it's like, do I want to cover it? Do I want to just sound off and just go through the highlights?
Sound off and go through the highlights. We can always dig deep if we need to, man.
Okay. We have a new president. I think that we'll just start there. I can skip the whole Trump being the first president to be impeached twice. He becomes the third president to skip his successor's inauguration. Siegfried Fischbacher.
Hang on, back up. There were two others prior to Trump not showing up.
Yes, there were two others. I didn't look at them.
The last one was Andrew Johnson in the 1860s, I think.
Way back when.
Due to death. He
Yeah.
was dead.
Oh,
But no,
Well, technically, JFK didn't make it either.
well,
you know.
the sitting president was able to do that, but no, Andrew Johnson was the last until Trump was the last one, but it was well over 100 years ago.
wow. The news stories that I kept hearing from two other stories that Trump was the only one that's ever done that. That's interesting.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
In
He's the
recent
third.
history, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. In recent history. Yeah.
I mean, does
So
this thing count before it was 15 years ago? I mean,
What's Fast and Furious? I don't. Siegfried Fischbacher of Siegfried and Roy passes away at 81. He was terminally ill with pancreatic cancer.
I have a real inappropriate story that I did something one time about Siegfried and Roy. No, it's probably not for this show. I want to be a better human now. So,
You can tell us during the break.
all right, I'll tell you during the break.
All right. Confederate flagman at the Capitol has been arrested. The FBI has received more than 126,000 photographic and video tips from earlier this week, earlier last week.
Was it just me, or did he look like he was Sasquatch in those pictures? Like, ooh.
I saw a lot of beards in a lot of those pictures. Lots of beards.
Zero
Which-
masks.
It's fine. I mean, I
I think
my
those
beard.
guys would even wear masks just to cover their not for COVID, but just to hide their identity.
So a lot of them. So there were quite a few that did, but there were a lot that did not.
Yeah.
I did see a website, and I have to look up what it is again. But you can actually see videos of people that were near the Capitol, inside the Capitol, and it actually goes through like a timeline, which is kind of interesting the way they have it set up. I guess they scrubbed all the data from Parler and put all this stuff up on a website that you have to. It's interesting to see all the different videos and stuff, but
One of the things they're doing, kind of tech news wise. The FBI is now, or FBI, whoever's in charge, Secret Service, whoever's in charge of all of these investigations. Anyone who was around the Capitol as this was happening, if you had a phone with you and it was turned on, they will be reaching out to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question. Where were all these arrests during the riots of last year? All the property damage that was done by then, all the fires, all the looting. Where's those news stories?
Well,
I think this is different because obviously they're trying to count ballots for the presidential election. We have U.S. senators and stuff in the building. There's the Congress members. There's House of Representatives in this building, and so
Was there destruction of government property last year?
No, not.
oh, yeah, he's talking about the
Yeah,
other riots and stuff. But yeah, there was destruction of property. I
but
mean,
not government. I mean, this is
people
actually the
were
Capitol. Yeah,
yes, people were arrested for that stuff, but this is
different.
different because it's
Incited
I
by
assume
one
it's-
guy.
I assume it's different. Well, you could also say Giuliani too, but I assume because it's the
Giuliani.
Capitol.
It's really because it was something that happened that was interfering with
Yes.
federal government business, and the only other thing that has happened that was similar to that is what's been going on up in Portland with those riots with the quote Antifa people.
Hey, whatever
and-
happened to that autonomous zone?
The autonomous zone was taken down in Seattle. I want to say 4 weeks after it happened, they cleared it the fuck out.
Okay,
But those type of people have been in and around Portland, around the federal courthouse, and having basically nightly riots. And that is and I decry that crap just as much as I decry what happened on the Capitol. But those people are being arrested too. But the difference is they're wearing masks, and it's very difficult for them to place those people with facial recognition and things like that. Those people aren't necessarily streaming it. I did read a story or heard a story about the lengths they've gone to find some of those people that have done that kind of crap in Portland around the federal courthouse. They've gone as far as there was a woman who had, was wearing a mask and sunglasses, and you couldn't really see her face. But she was wearing a very specific shirt. So they searched the shirt and they found it on an Etsy shop. So they subpoenaed the records for the Etsy shop,
No.
and they found this woman who they believed to be this woman, because they had other leads as well. But that was the thing that linked her to being there at that time, is because they found her. They found that she had bought this shirt. They found that shirt was one of, I think they said that they sold 100 shirts altogether. So, they found her and they charged her because of that stuff. So,
or like that
6 degrees of separation, people.
well, the difference, the thing, Scott, is that
guy.
yeah,
Sorry.
the thing, Scott, is that the arrests for the other stuff are happening. They may not be making as much news as they are because the FBI and the people in charge of this, I mean, this was so many people in one specific place doing what they did, and so they were trying to stop a government process from happening, so they're not fucking around. Even with the stuff that's happening at the federal courthouse, usually during the daytime, it is, if there are protests happening, they are at the time peaceful protests happening outside of the courthouse, and shit pops off at night after close of business. So it's a little bit different, but trust me, they're still going after all of them.
Yeah. So I need to not really backtrack, but last week I mentioned witch hunts, and Justin and we had a conversation a couple days ago, or Monday actually. We had a conversation Monday, and yeah, it was not witch hunts. I mean, listen, you stream this stuff, you got caught. It's not a witch hunt at that point. It's not like
They weren't specifically targeting people. It was just whoever was dumping up.
No. Yeah, you showed your face. You showed it. Yeah, so.
Well, and they're not. And it's one of those things that people that are turning you in. I mean, it's one of those.
These
things.
are like neighbors. These are like neighbors. Like, oh, that's Billy.
But it's one of those things
a lot
where
of
it's
them were
like
ex-husbands and ex-wives calling him out too.
Yeah.
But it's not. But it's one of those things. It's not snitching. You put your face out there. You live stream this shit, not trying to be anonymous at all. I mean, it's not like, I knocked over a bank and I told Alan about it in secret, and Alan, dimed me out to the cops.
Snitches, snitches.
Yeah. But Alan didn't go and dime me out to the cops. It'd be like if I went and robbed a bank and live streamed it while I was robbing the bank.
It's like
putting my face on there, putting my face on there for everybody in the world to see.
It's like all the high schoolers that are getting in fights and they're live streaming it on Facebook. And I didn't know I was going to get caught. Really? You live streamed it on Facebook, you moron.
Or
don't do that stuff.
that video that you
If
sent
you're
us
gonna
with the-
commit a crime, erase the evidence.
yeah, like
Not saying to go commit crimes.
those people
But-
doing donuts in Dallas, and then he hit
Create
that
crimes.
transformer,
Yeah, don't be
Mhm.
stupid.
and they're like, "Oh, it's like we can't find him." I was like, "You forgot, fuck." People are like, "Yeah, videoing that car doing donuts, and he hit the
Oh, yeah.
transformer." It's like there's also traffic cams around there too, guys.
There's traffic cams.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's people watching from balconies. Yeah, so.
Mhm.
Speaking of, so the FBI is investigating the tip about the woman who stole Pelosi's laptop to sell to the Russians.
She turned
Apparently,
herself
she got
in.
did she turn herself in?
Yeah.
Well, she got extra charges from what I was reading earlier today. The Massachusetts mom that was punched in the face at the rally loses her hospital job.
Yep.
I
That
did read a
lady,
story about how
that
the
lady's
governor
a
felt bad.
yeah, that lady is a real POS because her parents basically kicked her out of the house for attending a Black Lives Matter rally.
Oh, they
Told her
kicked
she
the
was-
daughter out.
They kicked her out. The daughter is also I could be incorrect on this, but I believe her daughter is part of the LGBT community. I believe I read that. I could be wrong on that, but they kicked her out of the house and won't let her with family functions because that doesn't align with their values. And then she went and
Because it was a
got-
pretty funny tweet or whatever it was.
It
Like,
was pretty. it
hey
was
mom,
like,
remember when you said I shouldn't go
Yeah.
to the BLM riots because I'll get hurt or whatever? And
And so
Is
mom
this
went
you?
to the
Yeah.
mom went to the Capitol.
the Capitol,
Yes.
yeah, and she got punched in the face, and
She got
somebody
punched
took
in
a
the
picture.
face.
Far from the tree.
she got punched in the face by a security guard who's a woman of color who according to that woman was, and I believe that woman is on suspension from her job because the woman just straight up
locked her.
clocked her. But what the woman said is like there everything was racial slur after racial slur after racial slur, and she felt trapped and couldn't get out of the situation, so she clocked her. So listen, two wrongs don't make a right, but at the same time, don't be a racist. You won't get smacked with a twisted T.
Yeah, if you feel threatened, I mean, what are you gonna do? You back someone to a corner?
Fight or flight, man. That's what ends up happening. And
So-
most people will choose flight. But anyways, so international trips may require you to show a negative COVID test result. I'm already hearing about health passports now, and I'm like,
Yeah,
dude.
Delta's the first to do that.
Yeah. Some Amazon Ring cameras now have end-to-end encryption, which I don't know why they didn't have that in the first place.
Hey,
But okay.
now
Now.
Strange.
Strange
It's pointing out, not in. So whatever.
Yeah, I mean, no. Well, a while back there was like I don't know if you want to really necessarily call it a breach, but there was a website to go to. The Verge.com reported there was a website you could go to, and you could watch people's Ring live like streams.
Well,
Not
and
a lot.
it was similar to the whole Parlor thing, where when people were posting, like the unique ID, you could trace back to who actually uploaded.
What house it was and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Strange FM signals coming from Jupiter's moon on Ganymede is not aliens. Yeah.
not.
No. NASA states electrons spiraling in Jupiter's magnetic field are thought to be the cause of the radio noise that we hear.
Are the Democrats trying to cover this up now that the Republicans released it last year?
Listen, who knows, man? I think, listen, let's be real.
You know,
The four of us here, do we trust the government fully?
No.
No.
I'm not saying that we have conspiracy. We're not conspiracy theorists,
saying-
but no, I don't trust the government completely. Are they telling me the truth
Completely.
all the
Don't trust
time?
them at all.
No, they don't.
Yeah, for some
You
reason,
decide.
for tax
You
reasons,
decide.
they think I'm white. I don't even know how that works.
But I mean, just yeah. So, do I believe there's alien life? Yes, I believe there's alien life. Do I believe the government's hiding it? Yeah, I'm sure that they are.
Yeah, because most people can't handle it.
Exactly, because there's going to be a large group of people, not just a group, not a small group, a large group of people that are going to lose their ever-loving minds when they find out.
How many
Not
people?
When they find out.
How many people showed up at Area 51 and did the Naruto run?
I don't know, but there was one guy that showed up to the New York Capitol for a protest. One guy. And he was disappointed that there was nobody else there. That is all my news.
There's a lot of tech stuff that happened. You didn't talk about that.
Well, going back to the alien thing, all of that goes back to it can be summed up with what Agent K said in the original Men in Black. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
Yep. Let's see. Tech news.
Tech news.
Instacart is firing every employee who voted to unionize.
Wow.
That sucks. Can
I'm
you
sure
imagine?
there was a lot of them
you're at
too.
work, and it's like,
How did-
hey guys, let's unionize for our rights, and they're like, and people are like, yeah, let's do it, and then your company's like, hey, guess what? Everybody decided to do this.
How would they know?
See you later.
I'm sure that there's paperwork that they signed to say
The
like,
sign-in sheet for the meeting.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. How would they find out?
I don't know. I don't know how you would find out how someone voted or whatever, unless it was, I mean, it's voting to unionize. It's not like a government vote or whatever. So I don't know what those rules are. If you have to sign something or put your name on something to as part of that, that man,
Who's here for the
that's
meeting?
shitty.
Or no, it's all Zoom calls now. So they just like tapped into the Zoom. It was like,
I heard there were going to be refreshments.
Sean, Steve, you guys are done.
Man,
Yeah. Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah. The judge, a judge refuses to reinstate Parler's Amazon account.
Yeah, that happened. That happened this morning or yesterday. Yeah. What they have to do. I mean, this is how this works. This is how it is. Basically, what they're saying is there's breach of contract for all intent and purposes. Amazon says you broke our rules. We're kicking you off. Parler's saying, "No, we did not." So now they're suing Amazon. Well, they went to the judge and said, "Hey, judge, can we want them to host our site again?" And the judge was like, "Nah, man, we're going to see where this plays out."
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a decision left up to the courts. Judge made the decision. Judge could have made the decision the other way around, and we'd have to live with it. I mean, that's how this kind of shit works in our country.
Yeah.
Like it or not, it is what it is.
And Metroid the video game looks amazing in Legos. So Lego has this thing to where every now and then somebody will come up with their own set of pieces that you put together and it makes this object or whatever. So somebody has created a Metroid, the Samus Aran, and then like the little Metroid ship. Somebody's actually created this thing and sent it off to Lego to go, hey, make this an actual kit. And if they reach 10,000 signature or 10,000 upvotes, you want to call them 10,000 votes, there's a possibility that Lego will actually make it into an actual kit. It takes like 1 to 2 years to do this. So just because if it gets 10,000
and all that stuff,
yeah, if it gets 10,000 doesn't mean they'll actually make it, but yeah,
no,
it's
cool,
pretty good. I like it.
I like Lego. Lego's
Nintendo
cool.
fan, yeah.
and then there's that dude who I sent Alan that link about who pretended to be asleep in his Tesla with autopilot on. This is something we can say. We can bag this for future stuff because it was one of those things I was like, man, this is the look at me generation and the instant gratification kind of deal.
Just stop being stupid. What are you guys doing?
Like,
yes,
he's breaking the law. It's just like not just like, but he's breaking the law and he's got video evidence of it.
And you uploaded it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then,
and his mom helped him video it.
If anything I've learned in the past couple of weeks is people are people, and they're all idiots. Except for us. We're not idiots.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm a fucking idiot. I'll claim it.
It depends.
I'll claim it all day long.
From time to time. Yeah.
No, I'll claim I'm stupid. I got no problem with that at all whatsoever.
I just think it's so.
It's the people
Why?
that don't think they're stupid that's the problem. Just like they
think they're smarter than everyone else, but that just makes them more dumb.
Well,
and this is how nice stuff gets taken away. This is how we used to have nice things. You have like self-driving cars. You realize, I mean, we're I don't say we're close to all cars being self-driving. It's still quite a ways off, but
I mean,
self-driving cars they just have to be a little bit better than us And
I don't know if any
people,
cars.
us as a whole, we're terrible drivers.
Yes.
I mean, electronic throttle position, electronic brakes. I mean, nothing's actually manual anymore or analog. Everything's controlled by the computer.
Yeah, but self-driving cars just have to get to a point to where they're a little bit better than us, and
You
then
don't have to run fast,
it hits
faster
mainstream.
than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
Any other tech news?
A little bit of the tech. It is tech news / political news.
Okay.
The tech news, because it all started online on Brother 4chan. It's all about the talking about QAnon, and those people are not all right today. They were not all right yesterday, because the big conspiracy, like the oncoming storm that was supposed to happen yesterday. So I guess the big theory with QAnon was that because Trump was the sacred leader, was that Trump would that Bernie Sanders would not be inaugurated. He wouldn't take the oath of office, and he and the Clintons and Obama and Kamala Harris would all have been taken into custody by the military, and Trump would come back as the leader and all of I mean, it's grand conspiracy stuff. And there were posts out there on certain sites that the QAnon folks frequented, and it was like one was like, I'm about to puke. The other one was, it's over and nothing makes sense. Absolutely nothing. Another one was, guys. Someone was, can the military step in now? Mods, please explain why Biden isn't arrested yet. So what do we wait for now? And then there was, please tell me this is part of the plan. Where the fuck is General Flynn? Is anyone else feeling let down right now? It's like being a kid and seeing the big gift under the tree and thinking it's exactly what you want, only to open it and find
no
out
Easter
that
bunny.
it's cold.
Santa's fake. Her tits are fake. The NBA's rigged. Yeah.
So
my favorite,
I just don't understand.
My favorite one is, if Q is fake, why didn't Trump denounce it? So those people are not okay. I've seen videos. There's a video going around of a woman who is. It's one of those things, and it's one of the. It's funny and sad at the same time, where there's this woman who is crying, like bawling her eyes out, pleading like you would plead for God in your moment of need, for President Trump to come and fix something. It's the most insane. It's insane.
So I didn't say much last week, and this is, we're kind of getting away from where we're at. We're
go for it.
Anyway,
it's
I
your
didn't
time.
say much last week because I had different hopes for the way that things would work out, and this is what I go back to: people are people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Trump supporter. I'll tell you that, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I'm also knowing that I'm acting a different way than everybody else is.
Leave.
Drives me absolutely crazy is the Republicans acting the same fucking way the Democrats were when it was the roles were opposite. And you're bitching at people for, you hear that, you see that one meme of the girl going, no, that Trump is elected. But then we're doing the same thing, and it just drives me crazy that I was hoping that, hey, you were bitching about one thing, and then now here's your opportunity to act the way that you said you were going to act, but no, you acted just like everybody else, and it drives me absolutely crazy. And that is not how I choose to lead my life. I'm not exactly happy with where we're going, but that's not my problem. My problem is to take care of my family and me, and then that's it. So sorry, there was
it's like my boss pro-Trump. I mean, everyone in my office is pro-Trump. And like he would point out stuff like I think one of the last State of the Union addresses, Pelosi was behind him. And she had a copy of his
and she
speech.
ripped the thing up.
Yeah, she ripped it on TV right behind him, and he's like, "Look how childish this is." And I was like, "Yeah, I may not agree with Trump, but that was kind of a kiddish move,
Oh,
and that's what I'm so that, and I get it, Scott. Like I'm frustrated. Like we need to act like adults.
Right.
I think I think the big thing, and I think one of the big things that happened on the 6th was for, especially with everything that happened over the summer, the people that were, and I will do this kind of lump sum of everybody together. So, forgive me if you're not in this camp, but a lot of the Trump supporters were like, look at this, they're not following the rule of law, blah, blah, blah. And they had the moral high ground. I agree that riots were horrible. It was shitty and bad. And the stuff that's happening in Portland is absolutely wrong. But they lost the moral high ground on the 6th, and a lot of them don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And and that's what it is. It's like, we're going to be better than this. And it was, and you're watching these people beat police officers.
Yeah. They're,
and it's
with Blue Lives Matter flags. And you're like, what are you doing, guys?
And that's the thing. And I saw an interview with 3 of the police officers. One of them who was pulled out and hurt. One of them the one where the guy is getting crushed between like the wall and the shield. And it was like they were screaming, kill him with his own gun. That's what it was. It was take his gun, kill him with his own gun. It was a riotous mob, and it sucks when you lose the moral high ground and you have no other footing at that point in time. It's fucked. I hate it.
I think the most miraculous thing out of the whole, even going back to the riots and stuff during the summer, is that there's not the most miraculous thing is that there's not more people dead. It takes one person to decide one cop,
a judgment call, basically
bystander, yes, to make a bad judgment call, one civilian to shoot a gun, and then now you've got everybody shooting guns at each other.
Well, and that one guy with the truck who had all the Molotov cocktails, and then like hundreds of rounds in his truck, and like, oh, I wasn't meaning to do anything with that.
There was a lot of people that had had weapons there, and then, like I said, that's what I think is the most miraculous thing, is that there's not more people that were dead.
The police officers did an amazing job, and there's a lot of people that are there are a lot of officers that are getting flack for doing stuff that they did, and we don't know the situation. All of that will unfold with investigations where there's accusations of police officers opening doors and letting people in, but you don't know selfies. Why. Well, the selfie thing is one thing, but as far as opening doors, you don't know if that was to divert these people away from another area. There's True. Lots of things that could happen, but the fact that the police officers that were on the front line had the wherewithal and courage to not draw their weapon and fire, because they knew, one, that if they fired, they were going to die. Because if you fire into a crowd of people like that, you have, especially if all you have is a pistol, let's say you have a
panic,
you have 17 rounds, 18 if you have one in the pipe, and after that you have to reload. Well, you fired a bunch of, and now you have 500 angry people coming at you zombie style, are going to rip you limb from limb.
Yeah.
Those guys had so much discipline. The fact that only one officer fired a shot, it killed that woman, or it injured her first, and she later succumbed to her injuries. But it was one of those things where that was literally, they were literally at the door where the Congress people were. They were that last line of defense, and that woman went through the door, and they had to do what had to be done. It was, it's a real shame, but those officers were fucking brave as shit.
Another childish thing that came out a couple days ago, where there's this senator, she planned it because she was giving tours of the Capitol a couple of days before, and I was like, really?
Listen, like her or not, you don't. That's to tweet the location of like, hey, she just left here. Hey, she's on the way over here. I'm like, wow. To me, I'm like, how does this lady still have a job? I don't understand.
This is it's one of those things, JT. I've seen the thing that you're talking about where they've where like the day before or days before they were giving tours in the Capitol. It's one of those things at this point. at the very least, it should be investigated. And if nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it. But because it was such a major thing that happened, was it something that was a conspiracy? You know, you got like a 95% chance that it's not, but you should probably investigate it and run that down just to make sure that it wasn't. Because if it was, that has way huge
I can
consequences.
understand that, but it was just because it was an accusation from another senator. I'm like, okay, this.
Well, I believe the
feels like
FBI is
an
even looking into that stuff.
Yeah, I
far
think
as-
Yeah, now they are, but it's just
Yeah.
that in the news it came out as one senator calling out another one.
So, last thing, Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman was called a hero during the riots.
We also called him here on the weekend from A to Z a badass motherfucker.
Yes.
That guy is a badass.
You actually see him in the video, and he's being chased / he's luring the people that are in the Capitol building. And there's one part where he comes up a set of stairs. He looks to the left, and there's like an empty hallway, and then there's a door. There's an open door, and you can't really see what's inside. But apparently, that was a Senate chamber where Mike Pence, all the senators and stuff are in there, and he actually leads them the other way.
He leads him up the stairs,
up the
other
stairs,
way,
another direction,
while on his radio.
Yep.
Calling out his location so that other police officers can meet up with him. So he literally led these guys into an area where there was more police.
Yeah. Really, really smart thinking on your feet. Fast thinking too.
I'm surprised
it's
he
weird
didn't,
because
dude that was on his heels. I'm surprised that guy didn't get a baton to the head because he got close. He was way really too close.
You can see it in the video because he looks to the left, and then as the people are following him, one other person, one of the guys in the crowd, actually looks to the left too, but then follows the rest of them. So, anyways,
no, that guy's amazing. He actually took part in the inauguration yesterday.
Yeah,
he was the escort for
Kamala Harris.
Which is, I mean, that's I believe that he's already like. Because of his bravery, he's already like getting promotions and stuff. I mean, when you do shit like that, and it's, dude, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All the respect in the world to those guys. I'll go first. I didn't do shit. No, we didn't go out anywhere or do anything. Again, pandemic out there. We're doing our best to stay safe. Was last on the 12th. It was my son's 16th birthday.
Right on.
And
happy birthday.
Kind of hung out at the house.
A beer?
Yes, lots of beer. No beers.
Gave him a beer, his first one.
It's one of those things he wouldn't even want to try. Like we've had drinks here and I'm like, do you want to taste this? Most kids are curious at the very least. Like, yeah, I'll try it. And he's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I will make the offer, but I will not force you to do anything. But he's been a good, he's a good kid. But yeah, we'll probably do driver's ed over the summer as long as that stuff is, if things calm down or whatever. We would have done it this past summer, but everything was closed.
Parent driven or going to a facility to have it taken care of. Like my kid both went through driver's ed at home with us. We would take him. There's a place that's close that's a driver's ed school, but I mean we would also we teach him in the car as well and all of that stuff. But it's one of those things that I went through driver's ed and I went to like a driver's ed academy or whatever, like after school, or mine was during the summer. Yep. But yeah, that's what I would do something like that. And it's what, a month, 6 weeks, something like that. And we'll just knock it out.
Would you teach him to drive a stick first?
No, I will teach him to drive an automatic first, but I will teach him to drive a standard. Okay. Just because I wouldn't teach him to drive that first because I want him to get the fundamentals of the road and his awareness of the road.
Yeah.
Before I give him another thing to
extra
do.
Thing you gotta figure out.
So
yeah.
I mean, personally, I did. Yeah, I went to driver's ed. They didn't have any manuals, but
no,
my first car my dad got me was a manual. So
same here.
Oh,
All
I
right,
remember.
now you're gonna drive us home. What? Yeah.
My dad did that to me. It was
Yeah.
my mom had a manual car, and he was like, "All right, you're gonna learn to drive a stick." And I had friends with me, and I lived in Grand Prairie, and they lived in Red Oak, so I had to drive
Dude.
them home.
Wow.
And so every time I would do something incorrect, like they're in the back seat and my dad's in the passenger seat, and every time I did something, no, every time I did something wrong,
Oh.
my dad
Back
would
your
just
head's all red.
no, he would pop me in the arm. He would I mean, not
like
hard, but it was like, pay attention or whatever. And it was like, especially like when it was, and this car had no power steering.
Oh.
It was a 1987
Yeah.
Hyundai Excel hatchback.
Oh, sweet. GT then.
2-door. Well, 3-door. No, there was no GT. It was just
Oh, I thought all the
Hyundai
hatchbacks were GTs.
PO. It was probably a GT. I mean, it's not like GT meant anything.
Yeah.
To Hyundai in the early 1980s or in the late 1980s. So yeah, with like 14-inch rims,
Steels.
Yeah.
14-inch Steelies.
Yeah.
No, with no AC, and my dad would just pop me in the arm. But yeah, that's pretty much all we did. And then Alan, you and I went out on Monday and had lunch. It was one of those things where I unexpectedly had a day off. It is Martin Luther King Day for my company. Starting as of 2021 is now a paid holiday. So it was one of those, but I had no idea, and nobody had any idea. So a lot of plans this week got shifted around. So it was like, okay, I have the day off. So, hey, Alan, want to go to lunch? So we went and had some payway and just kind of sat and talked for a while. But yeah, nothing big happened, and that was I was okay with that. So that was my non-eventful weekend.
All right. For me, Friday, I don't really think anything much happened on Friday. We talked about, I don't know, Shannon and I had some stuff going on here at the house and, taking care of the boy and all that fun stuff. Saturday morning, we recorded the other podcast, the Mighty Anvil. We had Alonzo on Saturday morning. It was a good episode, really good episode. So I'm looking forward to next episode that we're going to have a different gentleman on, and we're going to continue to go through SoulCon. After that on Saturday, I don't really recall what else we did. Yeah.
We went to ELC, listened to Pastor Keith talk.
Oh, yeah. We did go to ELC, listen to Pastor Keith talk. I actually liked a lot of what he said. I liked a lot of what he said as far as like the different tenets for the Mighty Men and that information there, and I like it. So I actually kept it. Normally they hand it little notes, and normally I keep them for a while, and then it's like, oh, what do I have this for? Throw it out. This one I'm actually going to keep and put in a notebook. Probably just transfer some stuff over and the highlights and keep that and put it over in a notebook. We didn't get to talk about SoulCon on Saturday, so that's fine. After that on Saturday, I think I just came back here to the house, talked to the shop in Fort Worth about getting some work done on the car, finally installing some parts. I needed to call back and schedule, and I can go into that in the second segment if we want to, as like filler material. Past that on Sunday, we had church, and Shannon did the worship transition.
Oh, look at her go!
Yeah. And
did she make you look bad?
No, she did a fantastic job. She did a really good job.
I'm saying you did it a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes. Oh, she did way better than me. Yeah.
What's the worship? What is the worship transition where you change from worship over to preaching?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
All you have to do is get up there and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty," and you play a Conway Twitty song, and everything's fine.
I wish I could high five you right now. That was
awesome. She did a fantastic job. She blew me out of the water. So yeah, we'll see when I get up next. I'll have to dress it up a little bit more. But that was really about it. I did
some lessons.
Yeah. Like Justin said, on Monday we had lunch. Actually we had I was telling Shannon, I was like, we had a really good conversation. talked about a bunch of different things, family, of course, the politic crap that's going on, and we talked a little bit about church too, and kiddos and whatnot. After that, we did start the GoFundMe for Isaiah. I'm saying a lot. Started the GoFundMe for Isaiah in less than 24 hours. It has been funded. So
Nice.
we've already made our first payment to the lawyer to go ahead and get everything started. And I think after that, they're just going to send us like, here's the next installment. Here's the next, because when you withdraw from GoFundMe after they take their fees and whatnot, they don't hand it all to you at once. As the payments get approved, then they go ahead and release those funds. So,
And there'll be a link in the comments section if anybody would like to help out Alan.
yeah, we are funded, but if you do, decide to give, then hey, it'll all go to the boy anyways.
So we didn't really go over what the thing is. So the GoFundMe is so Alan can adopt Isaiah. Isaiah is not his natural born child. So, but he has been there since literally before the kid was born.
13 weeks pregnant.
He's dad. And so they're going to make that official via the government. And so that's what the fundraiser is for, is to help them with the lawyers' fees and all of the fun legal stuff that goes along with that. So their initial ask has already been met, but if anybody out there, any listeners or viewers on YouTube want to contribute, hey, we'd certainly appreciate it.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, if I sit and think about it, it's overwhelming the amount of love and support that we've received, through this whole thing. It's been, I didn't think it was going to get funded that quickly, especially with the pandemic going on. You've got people struggling for work. I assumed, I don't know how long those things take, but I didn't think it was 20. I mean, the next day it was like, boom. So yeah, it was nuts. But that was pretty much the weekend.
You can thank my company for my contribution.
Yes.
Well,
yeah. So I did want to say yes. So as we go through with all this, because I know there's a way to like say thanks to every single individual person. I think what we'll end up doing is just posting updates so everybody. And I don't know if it sends an email, but I think we'll just post updates so everybody gets an update, as opposed to, and we'll put it up on Facebook as well. Like, hey, we're doing this, and hey, here's the outcome. He's official.
So I donated anonymously. Does it tell you? I heard it's not really anonymous though, right?
When I log in, I can see the anonymous donations.
But you can see who the anonymous person is, right?
No. I can see exactly who it is.
Yeah.
There's a little note that says this person is anonymous and won't show up on. So other people will just see.
Yeah, on the main page they won't see it, but okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's not really anonymous then.
Well, I mean,
can I take mine? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was my weekend.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go. Didn't really do much. I'm it's been Wednesday was 2 weeks since I left the hospital with my COVID scare.
You sound a lot better.
Thanks. Yeah, and that's the thing is lung capacity wise, I feel I'm almost 100, but not quite. I've been trying to do some small exercises and whatnot, and because Sunday I rode my bike like 5 miles, and I was like pissed because like when I got back home I was like gasping. I was like, this is normally easy. This is not what I was like. But
keep it up, man.
Good that you're getting out and exercising. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I just know that I just gotta slowly get back into it, and just all I can do is just just keep doing what I'm doing and get through it. But I really didn't do much. Just kind of hung around the house. I got bored, so I made one of those home air purifiers. Whereas you just buy a bunch of filters, tape them up in a cube, and you tape it to the back of a box fan. I'll send you all the link for the video. It's like 5 minutes or something.
Okay.
But like it's just because of my COVID thing. Like I also bought an air purifier for my work office too. That way, everyone's supposed to be wearing a mask, but to me, again, it's just an extra layer I can add. and it doesn't really do anything but sit there and purify air. So it's not like it's causing me to do anything extra.
Nice.
So
Did you get the fancy Dyson one?
Yeah.
no, I bought just the regular 3M brand because that way I can replace the filters with the regular 3M brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Dyson's stuff is really cool, but man, is it expensive.
Yeah, like cause I bought one of their heat cool fans, and one, it was super expensive. But two, it doesn't get as hot as I thought it would be. So I was kind of like disappointed. But I bought it refurb, so it was less than half the price.
The vacuum cleaners are mint. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I have one of
Vacuum
those. So
ever.
yeah, I don't complain about my vacuum cleaner ever. 'cause
No, the
it does
best.
what it needs to do.
Totally
Yeah.
sucks.
I got it.
Perfectly. Totally sucks perfect.
Totally sucks. Totally
Might
sucks.
have been a
So
better
yeah,
joke in
just
the
a chill
opening.
weekend.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, if it starts blowing, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
All right,
that
Scott,
was
you're
it.
up.
All right. So my weekend started off really confused, and we'll get into that in the second segment. But watch the first 2 episodes of WandaVision and
WandaVision.
WandaVision. Yeah, that left me with wanting to ask questions and wanting to record on Monday so that we could get this through. And then Saturday morning, again, like Alan was saying, woke up at 5 o'clock, started recording at 5:30 a.m. Then we went to church. Saturday, I don't know that I did anything either. Just kind of hung around the house. The post-production of The Mighty Anvil is kind of taking a lot of my time. Bang. You know what? I'll talk to that about in a second. And then Sunday, I'm running monitors at church, so that's 7 hours of being up there, running the boards up there, trying to learn sound. And then came home Sunday and took a nap, so wore out. Picked it up all on Monday and started over again. I didn't get the day off.
Me neither.
Ooh.
But yeah, that was my weekend.
Okay. Right
Wow,
on.
that was quick and succinct.
Any wait. So obviously no F1 updates.
No.
Man, just see that one woman won the Mega Millions.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone in what, Maryland?
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading an article a couple days before, sidetrack real quick, but they're saying like, steps you should take if you were to win the lotto, 'cause,
They
like,
always post that as soon as like it goes, 850 million. They always
because like they say a lot of people get depressed because they don't have any goal in life anymore, or they
I could see that.
they can't hang out with their old friends anymore because it's different, and their new friends are obviously different.
Mm-hmm.
But like they say, a lot of people who win the lotto go bankrupt within 3 to 5 years, and I'm like, how?
Well, you have to realize that most of the people that win something like that are not these like multi, like where it's hundreds of millions of dollars. It's people who have like they won
The smaller ones.
the smaller ones, like
Okay.
somewhere between 10 and 20 million dollars, or even less than that. And it's bad decisions. And realize like $1 million in today's money is not anywhere near what it used to be.
Yeah.
So it's, and they usually have like, they do bad financial advice, or it's like, they go out and they start buying houses and stuff for people that, that they
all of a
don't.
sudden they have all these.
And
new
like
cousins.
I've got like an extra 100 cousins now.
There's a
Or
reason why
the-
they didn't have money prior to them winning the
Yeah.
lottery. They did.
That is
they-
also true.
It is
or
a
that
thing about knowing how to run your money. So when we went through Financial Peace with Dave Ramsey, that was one of the things that they mentioned, that you have to have some kind of education about money. Why they don't teach that in school, I don't know, but that should be something that is
Mhm.
well, I guess the rich want to keep you.
That's,
never mind. Sorry.
I think we talked about it before, but Plaxico Burress, when he wrote a letter to his younger self or whatever, he was talking about the rookie class.
Mhm.
Like they taught them how to put a condom on a banana, but he said, I just still didn't even know how to write a check at that point.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot. Well, a lot of the people that win this money and stuff, though, they will want to invest in some friend's idea, but that friend is not, it's not like that friend has any kind of business acumen at all.
Yeah, that's why
but they really wanted
that, yeah.
They wanted to open a sneaker store or wanted to open a restaurant or
Hot
whatever.
ice.
Yeah.
It's ice that gets hot.
Yeah.
I think that's called water.
But hey, guys, Texas Mega Million 970 right now.
Listen,
I'll still be your friends.
Yeah. I will definitely be playing.
Yeah, I'm
And
definitely playing tomorrow.
if I win, I may take a hiatus for a little while. You may not see me for a bit. I'll be back, but I will have to get affairs in order.
Okay, so just a wish question. So after you pay off the house or whatever.
Yeah.
What's like the first thing you're gonna buy or do?
Stock.
Plant.
What was that? I missed it.
A penis implant? Is that what you said? Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that at all. That wasn't me. That was
Listen,
hey
guys.
man.
Listen, guys. I got to tell you, there's a lot of tips in this book. There's a lot of tips.
Just the tip.
Hey, sometimes no.
Sorry, this is
You can't wear shorts.
No, seriously though. What would you buy?
I think I would go on a trip, like tour an area like Asia or Europe or something.
Yeah.
Buy a house, but it is a very specific, well, not necessarily a specific house, but it is a very specific neighborhood.
A very, very, very fine house.
It would not be in Texas. It would be in Florida, in Orlando, Florida.
Our street, our house.
No. So what it is? So there is the only property within Disney World you can buy is a neighborhood, and it's called Golden Oaks, and they are multi-million-dollar homes, and your HOA fee is about $25,000 a year.
What?
With that HOA fee,
It includes,
you are basically, you have all of the perks of going to Disney every day, all year long, for as long as you live in that house.
Does it come with free food?
No, it's not going to come with. It doesn't come with the free food. Listen,
miss me on that, man.
Again, well, here's the thing.
Well, it's not open, right?
I'm not
Right
going to
now?
nickel and dime at this point in time, but they have the neighborhood itself, or the development itself, is on the same property as the Four Seasons, and they have their own private restaurant that is exclusive to only these homeowners. It's one of the.
Just
this
curious,
is like
what's
the
the
grand
ethnic
family
makeup of that group?
White.
There's a lot of. Well, yeah, no. I'm sure there's a lot.
I'm just.
Well,
what's
what's really
say that kind of stuff anymore.
What's really funny is that a lot of these homes sit vacant for a majority of the year because
second homes or whatever.
These are second or third homes for very wealthy people.
Airbnb.
And you cannot Airbnb these.
Yeah, you can't. It's like you can't give away tickets like that, right?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you have like the homes are built and furnished. You buy the home furnished, or the furnishing package. The furnishing package is like $150,000. But like when you go and tour the home, we've all like looked at model homes and stuff like that. But it would be like
TVs.
Well, these would be real TVs.
Yes.
But the homes are, and these are big, like 5-bedroom, 5-bath houses, and every bedroom has its own ensuite bathroom. Get out of here.
Bathroom.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that would be my big like spend, would be to buy a home in that neighborhood to have.
Put some thought into this. I'm liking.
Scott, what about you?
Because Miralagos is kind of like that too, right?
No.
I don't know. It really depends on where I'm at in my life right now. Like right now, all I can think about is starting a company, and that would be the seed for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want one day to have my money work for me.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would totally, absolutely.
I don't know, but if you had like 700 million, I mean,
hot ice. I'm telling you, hot ice. Okay, JT, what about you?
I said I would go travel for a little bit.
Travel. Okay. Yeah,
What about you?
I would right now, at this point in time, I'd buy stock because at the same time, I'm with Scott on the same idea as far as letting my money work for me. At the same time, I also don't want to depend on this because if I keel over the next day, none of that money goes to my wife. None of that money goes to any of my kids. So I need to make sure that I have some sort of nest egg put up to where there's money coming in, at least in
Trust
dividends.
fund.
Or trust fund, and have money coming in
Trust
dividends
fund.
to where you can live off the dividends monthly and not have to worry about work.
Yeah.
Sounds appealing.
The problem is I don't know which stock to buy at that point and all that stuff. I wouldn't do anything
All
dumb
of
and buy
Bitcoin.
Tesla. No, I'm not going to do
listen, at that point, depending on how much money you have, you get a financial advisor and you say, I want to make money off of this money. And they will say, how
Yeah.
much money do you want to make a year? And you
that.
will
All
say,
the money.
and you will say,
Yeah.
I want to clear $1 million a year because I have $700 million in the bank already. So I want this to finance my everyday life. So, they'll do that for you. That's the thing. Once you have money like that, you get to experience those things where it's like, oh, you know what I hate doing? I hate paying bills. Well, I have a guy that does that now. My financial advisor pays all of my bills for me. I never see a bill. I just have this money and it takes care of me.
I think my sister has that set up.
Wait, we need to have her on.
Have y'all ever watched
Also
the
works in
movie
Hollywood.
Pop Star?
No.
It's the group of the Lonely Island. It's like stupid, but one of my faves.
Mhm.
So Andy Samberg at one point it was kind of like In Sync, right? And then he became the breakout, so he was kind of like Justin Timberlake, but like his second or third album like tanked. But he has all these yes men still hanging out. He's got them on payroll, and at one point he's trying to find out who his real friends are, so he makes them breakfast, but like it had his own human shit in it.
Ugh.
So like,
Oh, that's disgusting.
yeah, so his real friend was like, oh, this is disgusting, and the other guy's like, oh, it's so good. So I don't ever want it to be like that either. I don't want like an entourage or anything.
No.
I think I would stay humble. Like, I think I would just pay off the house I'm in now and just kind of hang out for a little bit. Honestly, I think I would.
I got to get the door, guys. Oh, no.
All right. This is probably a good time to take a break.
Wait, Scott didn't go.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
did.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Start company.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Anvil Enterprises? I can't use your words, Scott. Use your words. Enterprises.
Enunciate.
Anvil Evil Prizes. Wait,
Burger Daja Babas. All right, guys. Time to take a break.
Because this is pretty funny. Yeah. Just got
So
caught.
we're back now?
We're back now.
And we're back. Here's a funny story from Scott.
America.
So there was a young man that lives in my
Hey.
house.
Get a mic.
Oh, am I not there?
No. Get a little closer to you.
Oh yeah, put it up in front of the face.
Whoa.
Get a little closer.
So
Remember that old toothpaste brand called Close Up? Anyways.
there's a young man in my house. He happens to be my son. This morning he asked me to fix him a strawberry and orange juice shake. Well, I know that he doesn't eat a lot of protein, so I figure, put a little protein powder in there, and that'll make him, keep him not from getting hungry so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And well, so orange juice, frozen strawberries, and birthday cake protein. Well, he grabbed the shake and said, Dad, did you put anything in here other than strawberries and orange juice? And I'm like, I know he's not a morning person, so I didn't want to set him off. I said, no, I just put strawberries and orange juice. Are you sure?
urine.
Doesn't like it.
Sorry.
And so I go, yeah, no, that's just it. I get home and my wife talks to me about it as well. And for some reason, I'm not sure. And then just a little bit ago during the break, he asked, Dad, are you sure you didn't put anything in the shake? And I'm like, dude, that was this morning, man. What's going on? Okay. He goes, usually when orange juice and strawberries don't give me diarrhea. So I go, no, I didn't put anything. Now I'm scared because one, I lied to him earlier. Two, I've given him the runs all day. So yeah, and we as I'm walking downstairs, my wife is just busting up laughing. She goes, "You need to tell him the truth." So we just had a dad
Heart to heart.
lied to you, and now I'm telling you the truth moment a while ago. But
You so depending on the substance that you put in their drink, that's what you call dosing. And we disagree with that, and we don't recommend that anybody do something like that.
it's not a good thing to do. No. So
No,
Especially,
Cosby got in trouble
like-
for that.
Yeah, damn right he did. Well, it's one of those things like, dude, I get where your heart's at. I've done stuff like that before, but it's one of those like, hey, hey man, did you put something in there? And it's like, why did it taste weird? I would lie and be like, oh, I put some vanilla extract in it to give it a little whatever flavor, whatever. Like, oh, because it made my stomach hurt or whatever. It's like, okay, I won't do that anymore. Like, cool.
Put the anti-boner powder in there.
Yeah. Saltpeter.
Saltpeter, yeah.
Yeah.
that was
Uh,
so what do we got now?
nice. WandaVision.
So did everybody watch WandaVision?
Yes.
Both episodes.
Both episodes. Man, what a very different take
Yes.
on
Yes.
stuff that was going on in the MCU. I am super intrigued. There's a ton of Easter eggs that are in there. It's so intriguing and good. And for the fact that, we haven't had anything in over a year from the MCU. Nothing. And this thing is really it's kind of scratching that itch for me. I thought I can't wait
Black
till
Widow
we
got pushed back to this year.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see where this goes. It's very intriguing the way that they're doing everything.
Okay, so I think I know now what I didn't know then, but it
Mhm.
still confused me. Is like, God, what are we trying to do here? Are we just going to have WandaVision talk about? I think I missed the underlying theme of the show. I was like, are we just going to redo every old sitcom and have it like a WandaVision takeoff and just kind of have? So I'm assuming
Yes.
something else is coming.
It feels like they've taken one series from one era, I guess, right? Like
Decade.
50s, 60s. So 70s is coming up. I'm feeling like a Brady Bunch kind of, especially since they went to color at the very end of the last episode.
Yeah, so it's supposed to go like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And I think it's going to go into like the early 2000s with something like Modern Family or The Office or something like that, where they're like talking to the camera kind of a thing. That kind of mockumentary feel will be the last one. And then like the last 3 episodes are going to be the thing that like shoots everything, where everything starts making like all of the info dumps are dropped. Speculation is now that Wanda is trapped in some sort of
Multiverse.
alternate reality kind of a thing, and they're trying to reach her. And in this alternate reality, they have someone or something is keeping her there. The speculation is that it's Mephisto, so the MCU's devil. You have we've already seen the logos for Sword, which is a subsection of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Sword deals with like extraterrestrial
off-world stuff.
off-world threats, whereas S.H.I.E.L.D. deals with on-world threats.
But they said they changed the name of Sword to be, basically to monitor metahumans or whatnot.
I don't know.
Oh, that's what they're saying. The new
one is.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to tie into the multiverse that's coming out with?
Well,
Yes.
Wanda
Doctor
will.
Strange?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the speculation at this point. That's where the speculation is that Wanda will be part of the new Doctor Strange movie and may be the big bad. And it's going to, like, all the stuff in the second episode with, here we are with spoilers, so I mean we're a week and a half behind with
Get over it, guys.
stuff anyways. So with all the swords, or with all that, it was all about, like, for the children. And in the comics, Wanda had children, and Mephisto was the one who convinced her to change reality, to make herself pregnant, to have children, so he could basically eat their souls and take, in the comics, it's what's, her powers are from what's called chaos energy. So yeah. So we're not
in the pick of destiny. What?
Yeah. So it's gonna be pretty cool. There's, the stuff that keeps breaking in within every episode, the commercials, the fake commercials within the episodes are really cool. So they had the toaster from Stark Industries, and they had the Strucker watch, and Strucker was the scientist that gave her brother powers.
Hydra logo.
It has a Hydra logo on it. So yeah, who knows what the next thing is going to be. It could have to do with her brother who died. It seems to, like, come from, like, her past traumas are triggering these things. So Stark, it was Stark weapons that destroyed her, or that killed her parents. Mm-hmm. It was Strucker that gave her the powers. We don't know what the next things coming are going to be, but it's pretty cool.
There's a lot of speculation that Randall Park's character was that voice on the radio too. So I don't know how he plays into it. He's from the trailers. Randall Park is in the movie, or in the show himself.
Oh, so okay. Yeah, because he's playing the shield or sword agent, just like he did in the second Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, and then speculation on the person watching the quote unquote TV show is the girl, she became a doctor in between movies or whatever. What's her name from Thor?
Oh, Jane.
Yeah, Jane. So
she's supposed to be coming back, isn't she?
So supposedly she got her degree in space stuff or whatever. Like, no, not Jane. Sorry, the other girl.
Kat?
Natalie Portman's character.
No.
Kat Dennings' character.
Yeah, Kat Dennings' character.
Yeah, okay. So her degree was not space related; it was like psychological related. So they're thinking the person watching that TV show, they showed the woman's hands.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's her. Well, she's already, again, kind of like Randall Park announced, to be part of the series.
So I thought the show was I didn't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. To me, the show's kind of weird. It has me intrigued because I'm trying to figure out, like, why the plane was in color and, like, nothing else was.
I think and why trying to reach her, right?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Okay. So what they've shown in the trailers and stuff is it looks like there is a barrier around a town, and either Wanda is having a breakdown and is causing these things to happen, or someone is causing Wanda to do these things. So the speculation is, like, in the second episode, in the beginning, when it's the tree branch that's hitting the window, that was actually the helicopters trying to get in and break through that barrier.
That's what I figured.
The helicopter actually broke through the barrier, and Wanda, because she has reality warping powers, warped it into a toy. The same thing with at the end of the episode, the second episode, when they go outside and they see a beekeeper coming out of the sewer, and she says no, and it goes through this big rewind thing. The theory currently is that, and because you can see on the back of the
sword logo
of the suit, it has the sword logo, and it would be the theory is that they tried to go in, like, through the barrier and it didn't work, so now they're trying to go under the barrier, and what that is a hazmat suit, but her reality warping thing doesn't know how to, where her brain is right now, doesn't know how to interpret that. So she interpreted it as something innocuous, which is a beekeeper suit.
Beekeeper. Yeah.
So just looking up Kat Dennings, she's actually going to be in episode 5 through 9.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind of the sad part about the internet now, that you can see what episodes and the name of their characters, so then you can kind of guess.
yeah.
Well, I think she'll probably be recognizable. I mean, if you notice, like the mom from that '70s show was the guy's wife. Yeah. So
what do y'all feel about the one thing that kind
neighbor?
of stuck out to me?
The neighbor is Kate. She's been in a lot of movies.
It's like, Scott, you're on IMDb. Look it up.
Who, Agnes?
Is it Agnes?
Yes.
She's supposed to be maybe the female devil or whatever, the counterpart.
The counterpart to the person that works for that. So in the comics,
Catherine.
in the comics, that is Agatha Harkness, which is where they think they get Agnes as Agatha Harkness. And she is kind of the counterpart to she's another in the comics, she's akin to the Scarlet Witch. She's another type of witch, but she works with Mephisto.
Yeah.
So it's all going together.
So one scene I really wanted to question you guys about, when the boss is choking. I mean, did that not just seem weird that everyone was just chilling for a second,
sitting around and not doing anything? Yeah.
And the wife was just kind of laughing it off,
like, stop it, like, stop it.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's like, save him. I'm like, why didn't she jump on it before? And I in my mind, I knowing it was Vision, I figured he would do kind of like that Matrix thing where he pulled the thing out. But like, it's like you would think the wife would jump up and like try to give him the Heimlich or something.
I think all of that is the stuff that's being controlled. I think those people are people that are actually in the town that are now being mind controlled by either Wanda or Mephisto to end this new kind of bubble reality. And I also, my theory on this is, as of not Endgame. What was the one before Endgame?
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity War. So as of Infinity War, or Infinity, whichever one, Vision is dead. Vision's gone. Vision's dead. And I think that within this reality bubble, Wanda actually created Vision. He's alive and well in this reality that she can't put together, or that she made a deal with Mephisto to bring Vision back. Because that's the other thing, is Mephisto, is someone that you make a deal with. And like the monkey's paw, it's, you're going to get something, but you're going to give something up. So
does Vision have a soul?
Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Like Wonder Woman 1984, you're going to get something.
Saw that lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where we'll have to see how it plays out. But I think that Vision is actually, she brought him back with her reality,
with her
warping.
mind.
Yeah, with her reality warping powers. So she brought him back, and now they're going to have children.
This is going to be a segue for mutants.
It's definitely possible. I don't know if this is how they'll do it. It'd be really cool if it were, but there's a ton of ways that they can bring mutants into.
Yeah, they talked a little bit about being a multiverse. Like, that's how they can kind of explain it.
They can do that. They can have Wanda create them. They could, we still have the Loki show that's going to come out. And it is, he's literally hopping all over time and space with the space, because he has the Space Stone. He has the Tesseract. So there's lots of different stuff. They could be an alien race on another planet that he brings to Earth. We no idea how that's going to work out.
So Loki, I thought he died.
He did die, but remember that in Endgame, he escapes with the space stone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He escaped with the Tesseract.
They messed up the timeline.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things that are still out there that now that we're not on one linear timeline, but that's how comics go, and we'll have fun with wherever they take us. I'm happy that we're getting a fun show that's really weird and creepy. You know, it
It is
reminds
kinda
me. It reminds me of the like the old Twilight Zone or even X-Files or whatever, where it's like this. Yeah, this doesn't make sense, or this this stuff doesn't work.
So what do we like here? Do we like Star Wars or the MCU on Disney Plus? Which would
I
you
like
rather
'em.
watch if you
I
only
like
had
'em
to
all.
choose one?
I started watching Rebels today.
If I had to choose one, I would go with the MCU.
Ditto.
And the reason for that is Star Wars is great and there's a lot of cool stuff in there, but realize that that Star Wars is 9 movies for all intent and purpose. That's what it is. And now they're expanding it out. And there was a ton of books and comics and stuff that happened before.
Intensive porpoises.
Yes.
Porpoises.
Yes, it's a blessing in the skies.
Robots in disguise.
But I get you. Like, yeah, kind of building on what Justin. I mean, I grew up, with the cartoons and the comics of Marvel. So, I mean, I did watch the Star Wars. It just wasn't as on my radar as much as the heroes, the superheroes.
And I think the MCU's done. I mean, with as many movies as that came out to get to the point that they were at. I mean, they are, they wove that story together so well with so many different characters and so many different movies that it was, it's a lot of fun to watch. And I think they have a better building block. They have a better Lego system than Star Wars does. Star Wars is Duplo right now. MCU is Technic.
Oh, okay.
And and I kind of like the way that the DC universe is going. Like, they're not, I felt DC kind of failed at first because they tried to copy the Marvel game plan.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they've gone with like Joker, there's just multiple different types out there, and that's what the.
I need to watch Joker.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either.
It's different. I'll say that.
Different. Yeah.
Spoiler, obviously it's not the same Joker as you see in Suicide Squad or anything like that. Yeah. But it does go down one of his origin stories, one of his accepted Joker origin stories.
Yeah, so, I thought it was okay. You get a lot of feedback the other way, but I thought it was a great movie. I liked it a lot.
I've only heard good things.
It's just a different. Like for me, again, because Batman was one of my favorite characters, so I knew a lot about it. And again, I kind of went in with certain intents on what to expect, and it kind of some parts surprised me, and some parts I was just kind of felt let down. But because again, I was expecting something. Yeah,
it doesn't fit like everything else. So when you go in, you can't be expecting something. And I can understand that if you're looking for a certain Joker, and you could definitely be let down. To me, this was more a movie about mental health than
yes.
I mean that really was what it was about for me, and I thought it was a great story of mental health.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it was a really good story. Again, I just kind of let down on some aspects because I kept expecting something comic booky to happen, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not comic booky at all.
No.
Okay.
What
else we got, guys?
Work on paperwork. I'm actually watching WandaVision right now, and they're in the office scene where he's like, "Oh, here's all your work. Thank you for." I'm like, I wish I had that processing power.
I don't know. We can go to the.
You're a regular robot.
Let's go to the wheel.
Going to the wheel.
and we're gonna get married.
All right, guys. Welcome to the question wheel. If you have some questions, please email us and they will be put on if we think that they're appropriate. There are some rules that get thrown
Yes.
on here. Here we
Yes.
go.
There are rules, and they're subject to change at any moment. So
Yes.
send us an email. Leave it if you're watching on YouTube. Leave us a comment in the YouTube, and we will put those questions on the wheel.
Actually, before we
plead the fifth.
before we begin,
Okay.
we actually did get an email.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, why didn't we lead with that?
At the very beginning,
Yeah,
like we normally do.
Well, it's not like we've had a lot of stuff happen in the country in the last 3 fucking weeks.
Not my country.
Oh,
no, never mind. It was for the other podcast. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh.
Carry on. Carry on.
It wasn't for power washing?
No.
uh-huh.
We got emails for SEO and marketing. That's the emails we get for that.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Complete SEO packages.
I am Jones. I'm here to power wash.
Jones.
Ooh. How will humans as a species go extinct?
Politics. The end.
Make a big nuclear thing.
No,
Justin?
I don't think we'll kill ourselves off. I think it'll be some sort. I think it'll be a pandemic, something much more crazy and insane than we are dealing with right now. I think that's what it'll be.
You know,
It'll
to
be a
that
health
point,
crisis.
This is not over, and they keep finding strains that are even.
I mean, it's literally like a different version of the flu, is how I see it.
That's the misnomer. It's not.
It's a virus
In relation only.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, like it's a virus. We don't know what to expect from it because it's new to us, and so it will evolve and change, which is like when people are like, oh no, there's a new strain. Can we beat it? And I was reading articles where, yeah, the new, even if new strains come out, the body still kind of has a blueprint when you get the vaccine to attack it. Kind of like, again, similar to the flu vaccine. That's why I keep saying it's similar to the flu in that aspect. But it's just a different virus.
My take on this Armageddon thing is I believe that even with a virus, a pandemic, I want to say that the human race would die off enough to where there'd be just a few, and then you could rebuild on that. So, like, could the virus kill everybody? Period. I don't know. It's possible. Nukes. I think that 1 or 2 people would survive that. And I even think that where I'm going with this is an asteroid, big, huge thing wiping out the Earth. I think that you could probably live through that as well. But that would be nice right about now. I'm just telling you.
For me, I think it's going to be like, what was that space Matthew McConaughey movie?
The Core?
Interstellar.
Wait.
Interstellar. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel it's going to be like that at one point. Unless we start, investing in more resources on the planet, we're going to run out, finite resources for food and water. So we're going to have to figure it out, or we just die off.
So we got pandemic, the limiting resources. We've got an asteroid. Alan.
For realistic possibilities, I'd go with pandemic first before nuclear winter or something like that.
Have y'all seen Wonder Woman yet? The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about how that guy becomes the wish stone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I wish we had more nukes. And they're all like, holy shit, we just found like 30 more nukes.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be like the 100. The other thing I could see, so going back real quick. So it'll be like the 100 where all of a sudden all these nukes are launching across the planet. You're seeing them trace across the sky and stuff like that, just killing everybody. Or I honestly see some things going way
Your robot dude.
at
Slow internet.
the Expanse is going. to. All
Sorry,
right.
I missed all of that.
Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying I actually see this going either the way the 100 did, where you see all the nukes launching and flying across the planet and blowing everything up, or kind of the way the Expanse is going, where you have these superpowers that want control of these things that, oh, we're supposed to have control of this because we're more powerful than these other people.
Russia.
And then we just end up, on the verge of war like every day. Meanwhile, there's poverty, there's homelessness, there's joblessness, and people are suffering. But you still have the political stuff going on that people just want power at the end of the day.
Yeah,
think
somebody
they're
needs to
already
keep
so-
Russia in check, dude. It just like all of a sudden like, oh, this is our territory.
Listen,
Like,
aliens, if you're listening, it's a good time to go ahead and show up.
Yep, I'm ready. My ears hurt.
The Simpsons, the
Ant.
alien, those ant overlords. And I, for one, welcome them.
I, for one, welcome our new alien overlords. Absolutely.
I just want to be a dog somewhere.
Someone, I saw a doctor say that big asteroid that passed us recently, it was like 3 miles long or whatever.
Oh,
So
yeah.
He's like, that was a spaceship.
He's a Harvard, the guy's a Harvard, not a professor there at Harvard. But yeah, that guy, he said it was a piece of space junk. Space junk from an alien civilization.
Oh, did
And
he?
it kind of makes sense. I read the article. It kind of makes sense in a way that they said the object itself didn't move according to the way gravity should have reacted to it. So
Yeah.
a comet will go around is controlled by the gravity of the sun.
Mhm.
Whereas this thing is shooting across like through our galaxy or through our solar system and didn't in any way, it wasn't altered by the sun's gravity at all. Which normally when things come into close proximity to some celestial bodies, also depending on gravity, they become trapped in the orbit to an extent if they're moving it. But they also talk about the rate of speed it was moving at, the reflectivity of the object itself.
Yeah, and it didn't have like a tail like a comet would.
It didn't have a tail like a comet, yeah. So meaning that to them, it's like, well, the object is hard. It's hard. It's a hard surface, not a gaseous surface where it's complete, like letting off fluff all the time like a comet does.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I mean, to me, it kind of makes sense as to it's definitely not it's otherworldly, but can you definitively say it's from an alien civilization? There's no telling.
Yeah.
I don't think we can definitively say it was moving too fast, and by the time they actually,
Pix-
it's too far away now.
Pixar
to
didn't happen.
Yeah, it's too far away now. It's really dim, and it's really, really far to try to.
Yeah.
There are more things in heaven and earth, dear Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Yes.
That is
I think they even pinpointed like where it came from. Well, the approximation of
Space.
where it came from. Yeah, I think one of the
Deep
Alpha
space.
Centauri, I want to say, one of the stars. That's like 200 and
But that's
some
also assuming it just had one trajectory too.
odd. That's also true. Yeah.
There
All right,
are
kids.
aliens out there.
All right, kids, you alien
I
freaks.
believe.
Let's wrap it up.
The Earth is
Alan,
flat.
give us a rundown.
What?
I got
So
some
if you have any
news.
questions.
I got
Oh,
some news real quick.
oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Last minute news. I understand now that pulling the sheets over your head and farting is no longer called a Dutch oven. It's a COVID test to see if you can taste or smell.
Oh.
If you could taste the fart, man,
Okay.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah. Reminds me
Check
of
your
Step-
underwear.
Reminds me of Step Brothers. Yeah, it's like, what'd you eat? Ketchup and onions? Yeah, I can taste that. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theweekend@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facegram and Instant Book at A to Z Weekend. Past that, anchor.fm/A to Z Weekend, where you will find all 11 locations for our podcast, including Spotify.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the flip flop.
Olive juice.
Pow pow.
Welcome to the new world order. I love you.